There is a moment, every single night, when your brain does something it cannot do at any other time. For about an hour, in the deepest part of your sleep, it opens a drainage system that washes waste out of the tissue, including the very protein that builds up in the brains of people with Alzheimer's. It only runs when you are in deep sleep, and after 60, most people are barely reaching that stage at all. That is not a scare line. That is the part almost no one explains to you. Your memory does not fade only because of age. A great deal of it comes down to what happens in your bedroom between the hour you lie down and the hour you wake up. And the habits that quietly wreck that window are ordinary ones. The nightcap you think helps you sleep. The room that is a few degrees too warm. The time on the clock when you finally close your eyes. I am Dr. Patterson. In 15 years, I have sat across from a lot of sharp, capable people in their 60s and 70s who came in worried they were losing their memory, and again, the thread ran back not to their brain, but to their sleep. Today, I am walking you through the 7 nighttime habits that decide whether your brain gets to clean itself or spends the night drowning in its own waste. We count down from 7 to 1, and number 1 is the single most important of them all. Watch for number 3 especially. It is the one almost everybody gets exactly backwards, and it may be the easiest fix on this entire list. Before we start, do me one quick favor. In the comments, tell me one thing. What time did you fall asleep last night, and what time did you wake up? I read them, and the answers genuinely shape what I cover next. And if you are over 60 and you care about staying sharp, subscribe, because this channel exists to give you the explanation a 12-minute office visit never has time for. Now, let me show you what is actually happening inside your head at night, because once you see it, every habit on this list will make sense. The brain's night shift. For a long time, scientists had a puzzle. Every other organ in your body has a way to flush out waste. Your lymphatic system carries off the garbage your cells produce all day. But the brain has no lymph vessels. So how does the busiest, most energy-hungry organ you own take out its trash? The answer was only really worked out in the last dozen years or so by researchers at the University of Rochester. They found a system nobody had properly described before, and they gave it a name, the glymphatic system. Think of it as a nightly rinse cycle. While you sleep, fluid flushes through the brain tissue, picks up the metabolic waste your neurons generated all day, and carries it out. And here is the part that matters. In their studies, this clearing was dramatically more active during sleep than during waking hours. During deep sleep, the space between your brain cells actually opens up, and the fluid moves through far more freely. Awake, the system slows to a trickle. Asleep, it opens the floodgates. A later study, this one in humans, published in the journal Science in 2019, watched this happen in real time in a scanner. As people dropped into deep, slow-wave sleep, waves of that cleaning fluid pulsed through the brain in rhythm with the slow electrical waves of deep sleep. The two are locked together. No deep sleep, no strong pulse, no strong pulse, no proper rinse. Now here is why this lands so hard after 60. One of the things that fluid carries out is a sticky protein called amyloid beta. That is the same protein that clumps together into the plaques found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. In a 2018 study, researchers took healthy adults, kept them awake for a single night, and scanned their brains. After just one night of lost sleep, amyloid had measurably risen. One night. Now imagine years of shallow, broken sleep, night after night, and you can see the problem. The waste that was supposed to be washed out every night instead gets a little more time to settle in and stick. And large studies bear the pattern out. Research that followed thousands of adults from midlife onward has found that people who consistently slept 6 hours or less in their 50s and 60s had a higher risk of going on to develop dementia than those who slept 7 hours or more. That does not prove sleep alone is the cause. Nothing that big ever has one cause, but the signal is real and it is consistent, and it points at the same window we are talking about tonight. So the goal of everything that follows is simple. Protect your deep sleep. Give that rinse cycle the hours and the depth it needs to actually run. Every one of these 7 habits either guards that window or quietly robs you of it. Let's count them down. Number 7. Cool the room down. We start with the one that looks too simple to matter, which is exactly why people ignore it. The temperature of your bedroom. Your body does not just drift into deep sleep on its own. It is triggered in part by a drop in your core body temperature. As you cool down at night, that dip is one of the signals that tells your brain it is safe to go deep. If your bedroom is too warm, that signal never fully arrives. You stay in the shallow end of sleep, tossing, half waking, never quite sinking into the slow wave stage where the cleaning happens. For most people, somewhere in the mid-60s Fahrenheit, around 18 degrees Celsius, is the sweet spot, cooler than you would keep the house during the day. If that feels too cold to get into bed, warm your feet with socks, because oddly enough, warm feet help the rest of your body shed heat and cool your core faster. Set the thermostat down before bed, crack a window if the night is cool, and give your brain the temperature drop it is waiting for. It costs you nothing, and it is the foundation the rest of this list is built on. Number 6. Make the room truly dark. Number 6 is light, and this one is about more than comfort. Even small amounts of light at night reach your eyes through closed lids and tell your brain the sun might be up. That single message suppresses melatonin, the hormone that opens the gate to sleep, and it nudges you up out of the deeper stages toward the surface. After 60, this matters even more, because we naturally produce less melatonin than we did at 30. You have less of a buffer to spare, so the standby light on the television, the glowing charger, the street light leaking around the curtain, they are not harmless. They are little alarm clocks your brain half hears all night. Make the room as close to cave dark as you can. Blackout curtains or a comfortable eye mask, which is the cheapest fix of all. Turn gadgets to face the wall or cover the little lights. And in the hour before bed, dim the lamps and get off the bright screens, because that bright evening light is one of the biggest reasons people lie down and cannot drop off. Darkness is not a luxury. It is a signal, and your brain is listening for it. Number 5. Move your caffeine earlier. Number 5 is caffeine, and the trap here is that people judge it by whether it keeps them awake. I can drink coffee at dinner and fall right asleep, they tell me. I believe you. That is not the point. Caffeine has a long tail. In one well-known study, caffeine taken 6 hours before bed still measurably disrupted sleep, even when people felt they had slept fine. Here is the cruel part. It does not always stop you from falling asleep. It quietly shaves the depth off your sleep. You go through the motions of a full night, but the deep, slow wave stage, the rinse cycle, gets shortened. You wake up feeling like you slept and never connect the grogginess to the 3 p.m. cup. So draw a line in the early afternoon. For most people, no coffee, strong tea, or cola after about 2 in the afternoon is a safe rule. Watch out for the hidden sources too, some pain relievers, chocolate, and energy anything. Get your caffeine in the morning where it belongs, and leave the back half of the day clear so your deep sleep can run at full depth. Number 4. Close the kitchen earlier. Number 4 is your last meal of the night. When you eat a big heavy meal late and then lie down on top of it, 2 things go wrong. Your digestive system is running hard at the exact moment your body is trying to power down, and lying flat with a full stomach invites acid reflux, which pulls you up out of deep sleep again and again without you fully remembering it in the morning. You do not need a strict rule here, just a sensible one. Try to finish your last real meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. If you truly need something later, keep it small and light. Not a bowl of ice cream, not a plate of leftovers. A calm, mostly empty stomach lets your body put its energy into sleep and repair instead of digestion. Close the kitchen a little earlier, and you hand your brain a quieter, deeper night. Number 3. Sleep on your side. Here is the one I told you to watch for, because almost everyone gets it backwards, and it may be the single easiest change on this list. The position you sleep in. Remember that glymphatic system, the brain's rinse cycle? Researchers went looking at whether body position changed how well it worked. In animal studies, they found that sleeping on the side cleared waste out of the brain more efficiently than sleeping on the back or on the stomach. Now, I want to be honest with you. The strongest version of that evidence is still from animal research, so I am not going to oversell it. But it lines up with something we already know for certain in humans. Sleeping flat on your back makes snoring and interrupted breathing far worse, and interrupted breathing shreds your deep sleep to pieces, which brings us straight to number 2 in a moment. So the move is simple and it costs nothing. Favor sleeping on your side. If you tend to roll onto your back, an old trick is to place a pillow behind you so you settle back onto your side instead. Side sleeping keeps your airway more open, cuts the snoring, and may give that cleaning system a better shot at doing its job. For a change this easy, it is worth it. That is number 3. Do not skip it. Number 2, skip the nightcap. Number 2 is the habit millions of people over 60 have turned into a bedtime ritual, and it is one of the worst things you can do to your deep sleep. The evening drink, the glass of wine, the whiskey, the it helps me relax and drop off. Here is the trick alcohol plays on you. It is a sedative, so it genuinely does make you fall asleep faster. That is why people swear by it. But once you are asleep, it does the opposite of what you think. As your body processes the alcohol over the night, it suppresses your deep, slow-wave sleep and your dreaming REM sleep, and it fragments the second half of the night into shallow, broken pieces. You spend the back half of the night in the shallow end, waking without fully realizing it, missing the exact stage where your brain does its cleaning. So the drink that feels like it is helping you sleep is quietly stealing the most valuable part of it. If you drink in the evening, the fix is to move it earlier and keep it smaller. Give your body a few hours to clear it before you lie down, or make some nights alcohol-free and notice, honestly, how much sharper you feel the next morning. Most people are stunned by the difference once they test it. Number 1, keep the same schedule every night. And here is number 1, the most powerful of them all, and it is not glamorous. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every day, including weekends. Your brain runs on a clock, and that clock craves regularity. When your sleep and wake times bounce around, late one night, early the next, sleeping in on Sunday, your body never settles into a rhythm, and your deep sleep suffers for it. What surprised even me is how strong this turned out to be. Recent research following large numbers of adults found that the regularity of a person's sleep, going to bed and rising at consistent times, predicted their health outcomes even more strongly than the sheer number of hours they slept. Let that land. When you go to bed mattered as much as how long you stayed there. This is the lever you hold most firmly, and it is free. Pick a bedtime and a wake time you can actually keep, and hold them steady 7 days a week. Get morning light on your face soon after you wake, because that is what anchors the whole cycle and makes you naturally sleepy at the right hour that night. Within a couple of weeks, a steady schedule deepens your sleep on its own, without another single change. That is why it sits at number 1. Margaret. Let me tell you about someone I will call Margaret. She is really a blend of several patients I have cared for over the years, so no one's privacy is on the line. But the story is true to what I have watched happen many times. Margaret was 68, retired, still driving, still doing the crossword every morning. She came in quietly frightened because she was losing words. Names she had known for decades sat just out of reach. She had convinced herself it was the beginning of something terrible. But when we actually talked about her nights, the picture changed. She was going to bed at a different hour every night, up 2 or 3 times, and winding down every evening with a couple of glasses of wine in a warm bedroom with the television glowing in the corner. We did not reach for a prescription. We changed her nights, a cooler, darker room. The wine moved earlier and cut back, a bedtime she actually kept. And she started sleeping on her side instead of flat on her back, which quieted the snoring her husband had complained about for years. I want to be honest with you about the result, because I always am. Her memory did not transform into a 30-year-old's overnight, and I would never promise you that. But within a few weeks, the fog lifted. The words came back more easily. She felt like herself again. What she had been calling the start of dementia was, in large part, a brain that had not been allowed to rest and clean itself in years. Your wind down in one simple routine. So let me hand you the whole thing as one simple routine you can start tonight. About an hour before bed, dim the lights and turn off the bright screens. Set the thermostat down into the mid-60s. Make sure your last real meal was 2 or 3 hours ago and skip the nightcap, or at least keep it early and small. Make the room as dark as you can manage. Settle in on your side. And most important of all, do it at the same time you will do it tomorrow and the night after that. 7 habits, and not one of them costs you $1. Before I let you go, one honest caution, the kind I would give in my own office. If you snore heavily, or if anyone has ever told you that you stop breathing in your sleep, or you wake up gasping, or you feel exhausted no matter how many hours you spend in bed, please do not just treat that as a bad habit to fix at home. That can be sleep apnea, and it is one of the biggest hidden destroyers of deep sleep there is, and it is strongly linked to memory trouble down the road. That is a conversation to have with your doctor and a sleep study to ask for, because treating it can change everything. Everything else on this list is for you to do at home. That one, you get looked at. Recap. So there they are. 7 nighttime habits that decide whether your brain cleans itself or drowns in its own waste. Number 7, cool the room down. Number 6, make it truly dark. Number 5, move your caffeine to the morning. Number 4, close the kitchen earlier. Number 3, sleep on your side. Number 2, skip the nightcap. And number 1, the most powerful of all, keep the same schedule every single night. Your memory is not simply something that slips away with the years and leaves you no say in it. A real piece of it is decided in the dark, in the hours you give your brain to do its night shift. This is how you protect it, and you can start the moment your head hits the pillow tonight. Now, the nighttime is only half of the picture, because there are a handful of ordinary morning habits, things you might be doing every day with the best of intentions, that quietly undo the good work your brain did overnight and leave you foggy before you have even finished your coffee. In my next video, I will walk you through the morning routine that keeps your mind sharp and the one common breakfast habit that works against it. I will put it right here on the screen. Go watch that one next. I am Dr. Patterson. Sleep well, protect that beautiful mind of yours, and I will see you there.